Hello viewers, I'm proud to introduce you to a new big time gaming slot with a new mechanic. It's called Slot Vegas, or its full name Slot Vegas Megaquads, Megaquads being the mechanic. As you can see here, we've got a flat £1 stake for ease of working things out, and 4 grids similar to donuts, where your premiums, which are the red, blue and green 7s, or the purple gem, they pay 3 of a kind and 4 of a kind. Your card values, they merely pay only 4 of a kind. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at the rules. First of all, the pays, which are all important. Now you'll notice here we've got 8 of a kinds listed. So the relevant ones here are 8, 4 and 3 really, because there is an opportunity to link the top 2 grids or the bottom 2 grids up with rainbow wires, which I'll come to. Therefore you've got pays listed for 8 of a kind, which are, the top one is 2x for the purple gem, and there's the cards 9 down to 0.7, sorry, the 7s, and your 4 of a kinds and 3 of a kinds for those symbols, because that's what they pay. So 3 green 7s is 1/20th time stake, and that might seem low, but you'll see why soon, how they can be multiplied up significantly and increased. So we go to the card values, or the royals as some people call them. 8 of a kind, 0.35 down to 0.25, and they only pay 4 of a kind. The bottom 3 paying a 20th times stake, 0.1 times and 0.15 times for 4 of a kind. So what you do get is 4 games in one, as I've explained, like donut, 4 times donuts type 256 way grid, and you get multipliers. If you remember Kingmaker Megaways, where any win consisting of the 4 highest symbols of 6 of a kind would increase the multiplier for that particular colour, and it would be carried forward to 3 spins. That's similar to what you got here. So any 4 of a kind or better of those 4 premium symbols will increase their respective colour multiplier. As you can see, I've already got the reds to times 2 and the greens to times 3. So that's what that is. Now you can actually join the reels up. We'll get to that shortly, because we need the rainbow wilds, and this is a description of the wilds. Wilds appear stacked on reels 2, 3 and 4 of each individual slot. Rainbow wilds singly on reels 2 and 3. And there's your scatters, and we get 6 free spins for 4, or 9 for 5, or 12 for 6, so we'll come to that soon. So there's your free spins multiplier, mechanic, and basically you begin your free spins with a multiplier you've accrued on the left with those symbols. So if I've got the free spins now, for example, I'd have a 7x, 3, 1, 2 and 1 added up. I'd start at 7x, and obviously that wouldn't go down in the free spins, it could only increase. Now in the free spins, your rainbow wire works a bit differently, but first of all, you can re-trigger them, but we need to look at the rainbow wild. Now what happens in the base game is, if you get a rainbow wild on any of the 2 adjacent grids, top or bottom, it will link the reels to give you up to 8 of a kind. So as you can see there in the picture, you've got a rainbow wild on reel 2 and on reel 7. So those 2 grids now become, instead of a 256 way game, I believe it's 65,000 something ways. It's basically 8 reels of 4. So you've got 8 of a kinds possible. It will also do that on the bottom 2 grids. So it can do on the top 2 or the bottom 2 horizontal grids, link them up. Hence you get the 8 of a kind and 7 of a kind and 6 of a kind pays. Should you get any of your 4 coloured premium symbols of more than 4 of a kind, for example, you get 5, 6, 7 or 8 of those, the multiplier will go up by 2 for 5, 3 for 6, 4 for 7 and 5 for 8 for that symbol, if you've got 8 of a kind. So that's where we are. Now in the free games, what happens is, when you get the free games, your rainbow system will work permanently. In other words, you will start off already with the top two and bottom two grids linked, but your rainbows will then trigger a full link of the whole grid, which means for that spin you would be playing on an 8x8 grid. And what I'll do is show you the amount of ways it actually gives you, because it actually does say here somewhere. There you go. So when you link them, as I said, horizontally, you've got an 8x4 or a 4x8, you get 65, 5, 3, 6 ways because of the rainbow wilds on two adjacent grids on the same row. In the free spins, you get the slots connect vertically anyway to give you 4 reels of 8 rows. And if you get the rainbow wild, you actually link it up to a massive 8x8, which is actually 8 to the power of 8, 16,770,216 ways to win. And that is where you can appreciate those relatively low symbol values can be stacked up. So I hope you've understood this. We'll see it in action shortly. First of all, we're going to go to the RTP though, because everyone likes to see that, and I believe it's 96.59%, which is quite good. 96.60 rounded up. So without further ado, we'll get it playing, and I'll cut back in, and obviously I'll point out here that it's in your interest to delay the feature trigger until you've built that multiplier up, because at the moment it's only on times 7 combined. So hopefully shortly we'll see the 4 of a kind, and you'll see how the multiplier increases. And if we get the rainbow wild in 2 adjacent grids on the same row, we'll see how they link the reels up. Your scatters can appear anywhere. You can have 3 on one grid, 2 on another, or 2 on each of 2 grids. It doesn't matter where they appear to trigger the feature. And we've got the banjo player. He's changed his tune since Bonanza, so playing in a slightly different key. As you can appreciate, with the way the pays and the mechanic is, as I've described it to you, it is a volatile game. You will get a slow spin. For example, if you get 3 of the premiums across the first 3 reels, it will slow spin. See if you get the 4th one to increase the multiplier. Same when you get 3 scatters in view, the remaining reels thereafter will spin slowly, like a heart stopper effect, or anticipation as the developers call it. And that's what I meant by the 4th symbol, anticipation. That's the rainbow wild up there on the top right grid. So I'll cut back in when I get the multiplier increase, or the rainbow link, or the 3 spins. And in the top left there we got the top symbol. We've got the purples. By the way, it doesn't increase the multiplier. If you get 2 ways of 4 of a kind purples, it won't increase it by 2. It only increases it by 1 for any 4 of a kind win. Even if there's 6 ways of it, it only increases the multiplier by 1. Just thought I'd clarify that. So you've just seen that, so hopefully we'll get the rainbow wilds and the 3 spins soon. In that instance there at the bottom, as you saw, on the slots 3 and 4 at the bottom, we had the rainbow wild appear each grid, and it linked up. We got our thinks and 5 of a kinds there, but unfortunately not of the premiums, which would have given us a higher multiplier. But in a way, it's good to get the multiplier built up, isn't it, and we're on ×9 at the moment. So the higher it gets before you trigger the spins. I've got another diamond multiplier. And that was another rainbow link up the top. There's another rainbow link. Well, that was a rainbow link, and I had 6 of a kind green 7s, which put the multiplier up by 3 times. As you can see, it went up from 5 to 8. So building up a nice multiplier here. Incidentally, I don't think I mentioned that the multipliers you built up on the left, they are applied to wins of that colour when you get them. So for example, any green 7 wins I get now will be at ×10. And that is worth mentioning in conjunction with the fact that I mentioned that the pays are very low to start with. This is what, there you can see why. So if I go get those 7s there, instead of paying 0. whatever X, they, as you can see, they paid more. So again, just to reiterate, you want the multiplier as high as you can before you trigger the free spins, but also, right now I'm playing on, for example, green 7s, quite a high pay, because I've got a 10x multiplier. So as you build the multipliers up, of course, the base game totally changes. If you can have a sustained period without triggering the feature and you've got high multipliers, you can get some pretty good hits. Well, we're starting to get some decent hits in the base game now, because as you can see, I haven't triggered the free spins yet. The multipliers have gone up significantly since I last cut in. We have, I believe we've got a combined 26 times multiplier there, and each premium symbol has a decent multiplier attached to it now for when we do get the wins. So what you really want to see now is the 8 of a kind green 7s or something. I just wonder if the feature's coming now. We've got a high multiplier. No. As you can see, the multiplier's on 36 times now combined. Those wins are paying big now when they come in, 4 of a kind. Well, I'm actually enjoying the base game at the moment, because I've built up some pretty monstrous multipliers, as you can see. And what have we got so far? We've got 46x, I think, combined. So even a few 3 of a kind red 7s or purple gems are paying decent wins, 5 to 10x, and as you can see, my balance is actually going up. I was down to about 160 or 50 earlier, because the wins are decent now. So in a way, as a player, you'd want it to carry on like this, paying out well in the base game. But of course, with this multiplier, I do have a feeling the feature will trigger soon. So we'll see. But at the moment, it's playing very nicely in the base game. Thank you. Well, I haven't triggered the feature yet. As you can see, I've built up a rather insane 60 times multiplier now, which is oh, there you go, which is a donuts-esque multiplier. So we've got 2 slots here with 4 reels of 8 each, and this is really where you want to see those rainbow wilds. still get additional multipliers for any 4 of a kind premiums on either side. We didn't see the rainbow wires here unfortunately, but nevertheless 112 times just for 3 small wins effectively. So that's Slot Vegas Megaquads from Big Time Gaming. Hope you've enjoyed this review and analysis. I am sorry it's longer than the normal ones, but that's due to the progressive nature of the feature trigger and the wins increasing, etc. Thank you for watching. Feel free to peruse our other Big Time Gaming slots. Thank you very much.